this morning is from Maharashtra. The state will be voting in the civic body elections today. Elections are being held for 29 corporations across the state, including the cash-rich BMC. Polling is taking place over 2,800 seats. An estimated 3.48 crore voters are eligible to decide the fate of more than 15,000 candidates who are in the fray. As far as Maharashtra is concerned, the counting and the final result will come in tomorrow. The political spotlight is firmly on Mumbai, where the civic body elections are happening after a 4-year-long delay. Now, the last BMC election, remember, took place in 2017. This time, it's a high-stake battle, as the BMC is India's richest and the largest civic body, which controls a budget larger than several small Indian states like Goa, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. Now, there are also the first-time elections after the splits in the Shiv Sena and the NCP. Three unusual alliances are battling this out as far as the BMC polls are concerned, with different avatars of Mahayuti and Mahavikas Aghadi taking shape for the civic body polls. The BJP and the Shiv Sena coming together, but Ajit Pawar's NCP is fighting solo this time. Thackerays have come together in what is being seen as a mega reunion. Congress party, which is part of the Mahavikas Aghadi, has tied up with VBA. I'm joined by my colleague Nilesh, Arunil and Rucha, tracking every move, every number, every update from the ground. But before I come to that, let's quickly tell you how the party fared in 2017 elections. So let's take you through those details before we come to our reporters. Let's have the data on the screen here. As far as 2017 BMC polls are concerned, remember, Shiv Sena at that time was undivided, got 84 seats, BJP 82, Congress party 31, NCP 9, undivided NCP got 9, MNS got 7 and others got 14. So this is as far as the 2017 BMC election results are concerned. And this time all eyes again will be on BMC. Let me go to my colleague Arunil, who is joining us from Bandra, is what we're learning. Arunil, take us through the details. This time the elections is about different alliance, different families, in fact, coming together, reunion of the family as well. With many people, in fact, asking if this is a hyper-local election, then why is it so important?
Well, it is basically a high-octane battle for the control of Mumbai. Why it is important? A very significant question being asked by you, Akansha. Basically, what is at stake over here is Asia's richest civic body with a budget more than 75,000 crore. At present, I'm reporting from Matoshri, which is the residence of Uddhav Thackeray as well. Now, what exactly has transpired for the BMC polls is that Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray have come together. The BJP is saying that the Thackerays have united to loot Mumbai. In fact, the campaign was initiated by the Mahayuti first, that is the BJP as well as Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena. Their entire narrative was on the lines that how Uddhav Thackeray has compromised on Hindutva and he's been indulging in Muslim politics, basically appeasement politics for the Muslims. However, at least in the last 3 to 4 days, it seemed like that the campaign of the Thackerays has also peaked in Mumbai, especially after the Sabha that Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray both did in Shivaji Park, as well as subsequently a Sabha was done in Thane as well, which has been considered to be the stronghold of Eknath Shinde. What their campaign primarily is based on is the Marathi Manus narrative, or the Marathi Asmita, Marathi pride. What the counter from Devendra Fadnavis has come in over here is that it is not a final battle for the Marathi Manus as claimed by Raj Thackeray and by Uddhav Thackeray, but it is a final resort and a final battle for the Thackerays together, because this is about their political relevance as well. The way they fared, because Raj Thackeray couldn't even open his account in the recently held Maharashtra state elections, and Uddhav Thackeray also did not fare very well. So that is why they have come together to keep their political relevance. Now, what are the factors that are going to be extremely important? We'll discuss that as well, Akansha, because it is the Mamu factor that has been looked at, or the M square factor, basically the Marathi voters as well as the Muslim voters. Now, whether the Marathi Asmita card that the Thackerays have played, whether the Marathi vote will consolidate towards the Thackerays, that again will be an interesting thing to watch out for. Around 32 to 34% of Marathi votes are there in the city of Mumbai. With respect to the Mahayuti is concerned, that is BJP as well as Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena, because Raj Thackeray particularly beat up the North Indians as well as has been playing the Marathi card, it seems like the other voters, Gujaratis, North Indian as well as other voters are expected to be consolidated towards the Mahayuti side. So basically it is a clash of big clash of the Thackeray's versus Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde. Primarily Congress is also in the fray with Prakash Ambedkar, but it is a clash of narratives as well. Whether the narrative clash of Hindutva, Uddhav Thackeray ditching Hindutva and joining hands with and doing Muslim appeasement, or the narrative that the Thackerays have set in, which has resonated at least in the recent time, in the last 2 to 3 days, that is going to work on the ground, that we'll be looking at. In 2017, Uddhav Thackeray had managed to get two seats more than the BJP. Whether they'll be able to keep that number, or the BJP clearly has made inroads with Eknath Shinde also making a cut in the vote bank, everything will be interesting to watch out for.
Absolutely. This is Battleground BMC. This is the election of unusual alliances and also family reunion as well. We'll tell you more about that. Stay on with us, Arunil, Nilesh as well as Rucha. Although it's a civic body election called as a hyper-local election, the stakes are very high, and here's the reason why. Let's tell you, because the reason number one is that this is the election to the richest civic body in the whole of Asia. First since a landslide 2024 mandate that took place. And also let's tell you about the first BMC poll that has taken since Sena and NCP split few years back, seen as a bellwether for the state and the country elections as well, and often signals a trend in the national politics as well, a litmus test of sort for the Thackeray families, as now Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray have come together this time as well. For more on this, let me go across to Nilesh, my colleague, who is joining us from Mumbai. Nilesh, this election is being seen as an election of fluid alliances. Raj Thackeray, Uddhav Thackeray have come together. As far as Mahayuti is concerned, Ajit Pawar has split. As far as Mahavikas Aghadi is concerned, there's a lot of factors that are in as far as the current elections are concerned. Take us through the details as far as alliances are concerned.
Whereas, Akanksha, as you rightly pointed out, that this becomes a massively important election, though some might feel that it is a civic body election, but it is getting key of the BMC mayor seat, which controls the Mumbai city, which happens to be the financial capital. And back in Balasaheb Thackeray's time, it was said that be it any CM sitting on the chair, but the remote control is always on Mato. That is Uddhav Thackeray's residence and late Balasaheb Thackeray's residence. Currently, I am reporting from Bandra area, where you can see the polling station is currently preparing for the voters. The first batch of voters have also arrived, comprising majorly of senior citizens. But speaking of the politics, and it's important, we have seen the last election, BMC election, was held in 2017, and since then a lot of political dimensions have taken place. A lot of things have changed. Ideologies have changed. Sides have changed. New chemistries have been formed. We are speaking of Thackeray brothers as well. The same Raj Thackeray, who was constantly hitting out at his cousin, that is Uddhav Thackeray, is joining hand after 25 years. And it is after 25 years that BJP is expecting, or the Mahayuti is expecting, to make their mayor sit on the chair, because for the last 25 years it was Shiv Sena, undivided Shiv Sena, who was ruling the mayor seat. But will that factor remain on ground or not this time? Because as we speak, since 2019, a lot of situation has changed. A lot of faces have switched side. So will that percolate today on ground? That is also important. This time, many factors were also discussed. Various rhetorics found space on ground. But will that also affect the mindset of the voters? That is also one important highlight that we'll see today. Nearly 1,700 candidates have emerged for this BMC elections. Around 10,231 polling stations has been set up for voters to cast their vote. And as we speak, you can see police arrangements are also on spot. Nearly 25,000 police personnel will be on ground. 3,000 officers will be on ground, including SRPF, QRT, BDS and other agencies which will be working round the clock. We will try to take the first voice of the voters who have reached out early morning. Ma'am, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? सर कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? कितनी ज्यादा एक्सपेक्टेशन है इस चुनाव से और चुनाव के मुद्दे क्या होंगे?
चुनाव के मुद्दे ये होंगे कि जो बेस्ट पीएमसी का कैंडिडेट रहेगा, वो जो पब्लिक को संभालेगा, वही हम लोग को चाहिए.
ओके, सो सिविक एपैथी अक्सर कंप्लेन होती है कि सड़कों पर पानी भर जाता है, खड्डे हो जाते हैं. क्या ये आपके लिए इस चुनाव का मुद्दा होगा? Okay. आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? What will you say? You have reached early morning. Happens to be the third voter, I believe.
Yes, just right now a little bit upset because still it's not open. That's it.
Okay. So we were expecting that voting could be begin around 7.
Yeah, 7 at least.
Okay. So what will be the key point that you will be casting your vote today for?
The key point is, like as he said, best will win candidate. That's it.
And civic issue remains your highlight, ma'am?
Yeah, of course, because for the senior citizens, the khaddas are the worst. We have to get that rectified. Suddenly there's a dip in the road and then we fall. So I don't know whether BMC has a tie-up with the orthopedic surgeon.
Okay, so you can see the voters who have reached out. For them, politics remains aside and the civic apathy still continues to be the main focus for them to cast their vote and bring a change. Sir, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? What remains your point to cast your vote?
Just the same. We need the complete civic to be maintained over here.
Civic issue remains the prime focus for you?
That's true. Infrastructure wise, roads are bad. Like, I've never seen roads this bad in my life. Air quality, city management, at worst at this point of time. So
you can hear the first batch of voters who have reached out at the polling station early morning hours. It is 7:30 when the votes will begin, but it is 7 and you can see the queue is only extending with more and more voters coming out to cast their vote. And as we were speaking, that though there has been difference of political rhetorics, various slogans being raised, the M factor is being raised, the Thackeray brothers factor is being raised,
right.
The Hindu mayor issue is being raised, but the situation on ground remains that the citizens want a civic change that they are constantly demanding for several years. The civic apathy still continues and that is the prime factor for which they have reached early morning hours to cast their vote. And for this particular vote, it also becomes important because a legendary cricket player considered as god of Indian cricket, Sachin Tendulkar, will also reach out to cast his vote early morning today.
Absolutely. So these are the civic body polls. So the focus is on Hawa, Sadak and Pani. These are the civic issues that are in focus. I'll come to you, Rucha, next. But let's take a closer look at the key face of shaping the BMC polls in Mumbai. Let's have a look as far as BJP versus Shiv Sena UBT of Uddhav Thackeray is concerned. The number of seats at stake are 96. BJP versus MNS of Raj Thackeray, 34 seats are at stake. BJP versus NCP Sharad Pawar, only 4 seats. Shiv Sena versus Shiv Sena UBT, 67. Shiv Sena versus MNS, 18 seats. And Shiv Sena NCP Sharad Pawar, 5 seats are at stake. But this remains the key focus here. That is BJP versus Shiv Sena UBT. As many as 96 seats are currently at stake. So for more on this, let me go across to my colleague Rucha. Rucha, we were talking about the civic issues that are in focus. A lot of voters there, in fact, told my colleague Nilesh that Hawa, Pani, Sadak, these are the main issues. What have people told you so far? What are the key focus civic issues that they will be voting on?
In this entire election, we saw how people are less concerned about the topics of Hindu versus Muslim or Marathi versus non-Marathi. But people are focusing on the civic issues, the issues that they have been facing for 30 years, and the issues are persistent. It may be about deaths due to pothole, it may be about the water supply, electricity supply, or any other civic issues that that matter for the Marathi people or the Mumbaikars. And if we talk about Thane, where I am currently, it is a stronghold of Eknath Shinde, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, where Shiv Sena is the same party which is ruling here since more than 30 years. Since its establishment in 1980s, it was Shiv Sena who has ruled the Thane Municipal Corporation, and currently the preparations are underway for voting, and there are 33 municipal wards in Thane, and unlike Mumbai, there are going to be 4 candidates in each ward. So the voter has to vote 4 times to elect the candidate. And the issues, if we talk about comparing the Mumbai Municipal Corporation with Thane, the issues are very similar, but development comes a bigger point here in Thane, because the Thane city is now getting more real estate developments, more IT parks, and it is increasing the traffic congestion of Thane city. And we have seen how the Ghodbandar road has become a major traffic concern. To travel of a distance of 10 minutes, it's taking more than 1 hour. These are the main concerns that the Thanekars are facing on daily basis, and most importantly, it is going to be a plus point for Eknath Shinde, because he has been part of Thane Municipal Corporation for more than 30 years now, and all the Shiv Sena corporators which were ruling here, out of 67 former corporators, only 3 are left with Shiv Sena UBT, with the Rajan Vichare, who is the opposition leader of Thane from Shiv Sena UBT. It is important to be seen that how the game plays here, because there is also a cold war between Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena, and Bharatiya Janata Party, if we talk about Thane Municipal Corporation. But and even if we talk about the seat sharing, Eknath Shinde has got more seats than BJP, unlike we see in other wards. Though this stands as a stronghold of Deputy CM Eknath Shinde, and it will be important to be seen how it plays, whether the Marathi factors changes the game in Thane, because we saw how the Raj Thackeray's speech was organized here in Thane, and whether that makes any impact or not, because we recently saw how there was a war between Marathis and non-Marathi speakers. Right. North Indians were beaten here in Thane, around Thane Municipal Corporation, and it is going to be a major factor whether the people are going to vote for the Marathi point, or they are going to focus on the civic issues more.
All right, so that remains the key issue and the key focus as far as the elections are concerned. At 7:30, the voting will start, and the focus will be on the BMC elections there in Mumbai. We'll come back to you, Rucha, Arunil and Nilesh, at 7:30 when the voting will start. For now, moving on and shifting